Before mixing your strudel, make sure to have all of the ingredients on your countertop. Place your unsalted butter and sour cream in a large bowl and add the flour. Stir until a dough forms, then pour the dough out onto a piece of parchment paper. Use the parchment paper to help you roll the dough into a log. At this point, the dough is very sticky and the parchment keeps it from sticking to your hand. Place a log into the refrigerator and let it cool for at least 2 hours or as long as overnight. Generously flour a piece of parchment paper, put your dough onto the parchment and flour the dough. Roll it out into a rectangle, lifting the dough every once in a while to make sure that it doesn't stick. If you choose to use a high gluten or bread flour, your dough will have more elasticity and can be stretched manually just like a pizza dough. The easiest way to mix the preserves for your filling is to just put them into a food processor and turn it on. Gently spread the dough with 1/6 of the fruit preserve mixture, making sure to leave a 1/2-inch border on the long side closest to you. Sprinkle the raisins on top of the fruit preserves. And at this point, if you'd like, you can peel and finely mince a fresh apple and top the raisins with some of the apple. Of course, this is optional. At this point, you're going to sprinkle 1/6 of the pecans or any nut you choose to use. And lastly, sprinkle the dough with 1/6 of the coconut. You'll use the parchment paper to lift the dough. Loosen it from the parchment paper, lifting the parchment paper, helping the dough to roll into a jelly roll. Roll it all the way down to the bottom edge. Make sure the seam is on the bottom. Pinch the end shut. Run your hands across the log to make sure that all of the filling is evenly distributed. Then, gently lift the log on the parchment paper onto your parchment-lined baking sheet. Brush your strudel generously with the oil and egg mixture. This will help the strudel get nice and crispy in the oven. Then sprinkle it generously with a mixture of sugar and cinnamon. Using a sharp knife or razor blade, score the strudel at 1-inch intervals. Place the scored strudel into your preheated oven and rotate the pan halfway through the baking process. Ideally, a strudel should be cooled and then refrigerated before slicing. Doug's strudel tastes as yummy as it looks. He certainly would make his Bubbe Eva proud. Strudel is a perfect breakfast treat, a great accompaniment to an afternoon cup of tea, and of course, the perfect finish to a lovely meal.